Good morning, YouTubers. Here we are. It is January 4th. It is the B Cup. Good morning. I'm tired. I just woke up. Horrible when that happens. It's 8:30 and I'm waking up. Like, not cool. But that's because I work late at night and I don't go to bed early enough. So, January 4th, 2018. Disclaimer: I do not speak for anyone but myself. My opinions are mine. My dialogue is mine. My life is mine. I do not represent the LGBTQ community, specifically the transgender community. I have my own thoughts and my own opinions, and I encourage you to have your own thoughts and your opinions. Now, let's go. Good morning. Good morning, kids. Good morning, Freebird and Philip and Sarah. You're becoming regulars on here. I appreciate that. Do you guys have coffee? Mm. I actually, literally, this is my second cup. I had my first cup. I sucked it down like a maniac. I just sucked it down. Good morning, Lauren. How are you? Nice to see you. So, as you know, I always do, I start my YouTube first just so we can spend a little time together before we get on to Facebook because that gets so much more bombarded on there. Hopefully, we're going to create this channel to be as big as Facebook and eventually try to move everything over here. But, building these channels takes a lot of effort and a lot of time and a lot of commitment. So I appreciate you guys. Buying weed today, right on. Are you in California? Because yesterday I saw lines out the wazoo. Like lines in the dispensaries are crazy right now because all you need is an identification to buy cannabis, which is pretty awesome. The world is progressing on some level, I would say. Okay, kids, we're going to start now. Let's go to our Facebook Live and see what's going on here. And now we are live on Facebook, and you're going to have to hear the same thing I just did over there on YouTube. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, B Cuppers. How are you? I just woke up. I just woke up. That's because Trappa stays out late working. So it's January 4th, 2018. This is the B Cup. I want to let you know that I'm Buck Angel and I do not represent any community during these talks ever. I do not represent the LGBTQ community and I do not specifically represent the transgender community. My thoughts are my thoughts, my actions, my opinions, my dialogue. I encourage you to have your own opinions and dialogue and it's okay. Okay, so there we go. Let's move on, kids. Sam, Brandon, Jamie, Nate. Good morning, kids. I'm already on my second cup. I literally drank my first cup in less than like 2 minutes because I woke up late. I went to bed so late and I smoke cannabis before I go to bed and it puts me out. And I have major insomnia. So I suggest this to the people. Good morning, Katie and Phoenix. Any of you out there that have insomnia, you should most definitely look into using cannabis as an alternative sleeping medicine because the problem is that sleeping medicine tends to get you addicted. Good morning, Nate and Dylan. What's up, Buck? I'm officially running for office in Houston area, House Representative 29. Congratulations, Dylan. Yay, everybody clap. That's so awesome. We're really excited for that. Good morning, Alexandria and Declan. Good morning, my friend. Good morning, Angel and Phoenix. Yeah, I'm sure it is night somewheres, but it's morning here. So Grandpa's going to say good morning. So I use cannabis to sleep because I don't use sleeping pills. Sleeping pills got me feeling like I was using drugs, and I didn't like that feeling because I don't do drugs. So I found cannabis, and cannabis literally puts me out with no these cats. I have all these cats running around because I stupidly started to feed them. So now they wait for me. That's Licious. The cat's name is Licious. That's Licious. And then we have Obama, and everybody knows Obama. So there's that. Good morning, James. How are you? It's cold Southwest Florida, which is weird. Very weird. Get your coffees, kids. Today, let's talk about self awareness. What is self awareness? Do you have self awareness? Are you aware of self awareness? Not many of us aren't, and we don't even know who we are. Which is, and I mean that on many levels, but we don't. We don't. Declan says, "How do you have your coffee?" Oh, I like flat whites. I don't like sweet coffee, actually. I like very strong coffee, and I use an espresso machine. Good morning, Dana and James. 38. Ugh. Hi, Robert. How are you? Good morning. And Ronnie and Pete. Okay, brew up that coffee, and I'll talk a little bit, and then you get your coffee. Because coffee is very important for this next conversation we're about to have. Mm. So, Freebird, if you go to facebook.com/officialbuckangel, you'll be able to watch this live feed there and participate as well. Anyone can participate in this feed, am I right? So you don't have to necessarily be my friend. You can come on here and just participate, right? Because I'm not really sure how that works. Um, like YouTube, you can just log on to YouTube and just start the conversation with me the same way. I don't think you have to be a friend or be connected in there. But I'll check into that just to make sure. So, breathe. Get back to here. Remember, I always lose myself sometimes. I get too excited and I start to speak too fast. And then I forget. Let's be calm. You know, sometimes we just react to things without thinking. I do that. I react to things without thinking. Hi, Brendan. Speaking of MJ, wish I could use it. Used Hydro for tooth pain yesterday. Have a headache since. Never. Yeah, I wish you could use it too. Good morning, Jennifer and Jake. Hi, Libby. Okay, 1 degrees above zero. Good morning, Shelby. Shelby's my friend from a million years ago. In fact, we dated for a little while, and when I was a lady. Remember when I was a lady, Shelby? I love saying I was a lady because I never was a lady. What was I? I was a woman? Was I a woman? No. I was not a lady though, but I love saying when I was a lady because it just makes it so much more dramatic. It's so hilarious. I just fucking think it's brilliant to be able to tell people it's brilliant and it's so fucking powerful to say, I used to be a lady. Nobody believes it. They're just like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, are you high? Yeah, Shelby says you were an angry lost boy. Oh, this is so true. That woman knows me. We need to get together, my friend. I miss you. She's an awesome lady. She grew to be a beautiful, amazing, successful woman, which is something I cannot even tell you how much it means to me because me and her got into some trouble together. We were trouble. We should have never been together. We were doing some crazy shit together. But we both came out of it, Shelby. You know that? It's going to make me cry. We both came out of it. We came out of it against all odds, my friends. Nobody thought me and you were going to become what we are today. You being a successful business person, you being successful with children, getting your degrees, working so hard for yourself, and really becoming a successful person of society and creating yourself in your own image. And that is self-awareness. And if you guys really understood what I was talking about, we were down and out, Shelby and I. We were not focused. And it is amazing that we stand here today doing the things that we do. So again, we have become examples. We have become examples of you cannot tell yourself, I'm nothing, I'm nobody, I will never make it. Other people will say that to you. They most definitely will. Because other people always have an opinion. Always have an opinion. Always have that, oh, you're not doing well, you're not going to. That's bullshit. I proved it. Shelby proved it. And millions of other people have proved it. So if you're in a space right now in the beginning of the year, most of us probably are in a space where like, I'm going to create a good space. I'm going to become something. This is what I'm going to do. And then all of a sudden, you lose momentum. You've lost self-awareness. This is what we're about to talk about right now. We're about to talk about self-awareness. And it's because I learned self-awareness. It wasn't something that just popped out magically out of my ass. It actually was something I worked towards understanding. What is self-awareness? Do you even know what self-awareness is? I didn't know what self-awareness was. I didn't even know what self-love was. I didn't know what self-care, all of those things sounded so hippie to me. And not that hippie's bad, but it just sounded like new wave, new agey, new new stuff that I'm not necessarily into that language. I tend to think that language turns me off as well as a lot of people. So when people would be like, "Are you having self care? Are you doing self?" Yeah, I'm like, well, I don't know what you're talking about. Self awareness is number one before self love or self care. Okay, so Alex says, I'm here. Depression was so bad yesterday. I stayed in bed for a whole day and thought of ways to end my life. I need buck medicine. Yeah, Alex, you need to get. I hope you have a healthcare professional, a mental health care, a therapist or something. You really need to be getting yourself into a situation that you can talk about this every day and talk about with somebody that you feel comfortable with. And maybe you need antidepressants. I'm not against pharmaceuticals at all. What I'm against is how we are forced to use pharmaceuticals. Good morning, Rochelle. Okay, you got some coffee. Coffee is important. Let me drink a little bit of my coffee. What do you think about self awareness? Do you have self awareness? Are you self aware of yourself, of your surroundings, of your purpose in this life? Remember, I love to tell you that because I think we all forget. Freebird, I'm a hippie too. Good morning, Tracy. Do you have self awareness? Do you know? Are you actually really aware of you? Not of everybody else. Not aware of how you like Tommy because Tommy is a trans guy and Tommy really learned how to build his body up and Tommy has a mustache and beard and Tommy looks like a man and that's what you're aware of. No. Then you've lost focus of you. You can't be focusing on Tommy because Tommy has nothing to do with you. That's, I think, a lot of the problems of understanding transition. A lot of times people look at other trans guys and wish to be like that. And that is, it's nice to look and see people how they've grown from testosterone, what they've become into. But you're focusing your attention on others. You can't focus your attention on others. You have to focus your attention back to yourself, right? Tammy says, I'm on my journey of self-awareness now. Good morning from Georgia, my friend. Shelby says, sometimes our journey is exactly what we are supposed to go through. Some lessons are meant to be taken, done, and repeated to honestly learn what not to do. Clearly, Shelby. But the problem is a lot of the time, you keep repeating the same mistakes over and over and never learning until maybe you die. I mean, honestly, Shelby, it's pretty fucking amazing that I survived and I'm here. The shit I did. But clearly it was because it wasn't a lesson. So that is a great point, Shelby. Find what's happening in your life that you keep repeating over and over and over with the same outcome. With the same outcome. That means you have no self-awareness. It's like, okay, I gotta stop. Why am I doing this? Why am I getting myself into a relationship? Every time I'm in a relationship, it ends this exact way. That's a pattern. That's a pattern that you should look at. That's, again, self-awareness. It's hard. It's hard to accept the fact that you keep repeating things over and over or that you are doing things that are creating negative space in your life. You know it. You know it. But the key is, are you aware of it? To know it in a way is different than to be aware of it. Does that make sense? Nick says, I don't know exactly what my purpose is. Two things I know. I'm a good hike and off-roading guide and help the trans community. You have a purpose, my friend. You have a purpose. So maybe you haven't been enlightened to know your purpose yet, but you have a purpose. Just keep doing what makes you happy. Keep doing the things that create your life in a very positive way, and your purpose will come to you. Maybe that is your purpose. Libby says, I feel like I oftentimes drown in self-awareness, so I have to take breaks from it. And then there's that, Libby. And then there's that. Freebird says, I keep letting toxic people in my life over and over. I tend to do that too, Freebird. I tend to let toxic people come into my life. I think I can save people. There's a big part of a lot of my problems. Yes, Shelby says, that's my point. They're repeating, wake the fuck up. It is your point, and it was a great point. Huh, yes. So aware is different. What I think, Shelby, knowing sometimes this. because I think they're the same word, but I feel like being aware is a level above knowing. Because, like, this is why I think that we repeat problems, because we know, like this person said, Freebird said, I keep bringing toxic people into my life. I know that those toxic people are in my life. They just said it. But are they aware of those toxic people? That's why I think being aware is different than knowing. So once you're aware, you can fix the problem. Okay? Because that is a problem in your life. Being aware, you can actually fix the problem if you want to. I feel like knowing, you just know. You just know, but you don't necessarily want to fix it. Or you don't necessarily are at that level to say that it's a bad thing in my life. It's something that I need to fix. That's why I like to use the word aware. It feels much more powerful to me, and it feels like you're awake. You're awake around, look, I need to get the toxic stuff out of my life. For some reason, I don't like that word. Probably because I've been called toxic masculinity so much, it's like brought me into another space. James, my friend, says, quote I heard last night, don't let people pull you into their storms. Instead, invite them into your peace. Beautiful. Petra says, if you know who is toxic, block them out of your life. Yeah, for sure. But sometimes there's this. Toxic people can change. Not always are they toxic forever. And are you willing to help somebody who's toxic become untoxic? It's not your job, but are you able to speak to somebody and say, your behavior, or, as a friend. Sometimes people have done that to me early on. Remember, Shelby? I had the worst attitude. I was a mean little dyke. And I would just say shit to anybody, anywhere. Because I hated myself. I knew what I was saying, but I was not aware. I was not aware of the effects of what I was saying. And that's why I think it's totally different. Tracy says, it took me until I was 50 years old this year, congratulations, to realize that I have gave all myself to others. Relationships fail, bad things happen, and why? Because I allowed it. Now my life is more positive because I can't save everyone. My mental health is precious, and I have kept toxic people at bay. And that's what I'm talking about, Tracy. That's pure self-awareness. Alex says, I believe I have very strong self-awareness of me, and no one knows me better than me. That's exactly the point. You got it. You got it. So Minka says you can identify toxic people because when you begin to grow and become more self-aware and your esteem grows, they have a problem with it and will try to cut your growth. That's a great point, Mika. And I do know that. They try to sabotage your growth. Oh, for sure. For sure. When you start to grow and become more positive, there will be people in your life who actually feel threatened by your growth. They feel threatened by you. They feel scared of you. And I'm telling you, that's the people in this community who don't like us, who don't like B-cup people, who don't like us to speak our minds, who don't like to say, who don't like to hear this. I'm Buck Angel. I'm a transsexual man. I am not transgender. I am not trans asterisk. I am not that. They don't like to hear that because you're speaking outside of that system. So you're right. Those people are scared of people who are free thinkers. Remember, we have a part of our community that doesn't want you to have free will, that doesn't want you to have free speech, that doesn't want you to speak on your own terms, to speak for one reason and one reason only. Because they feel that in order to create a transgender community, everyone needs to mold into this idea of transgender. That is bullshit. There is no idea of transgender. There is no transgender. Do you know how fluid that word is? That was the whole point, wasn't it? The whole point to make it an umbrella term was fluidity. And now all of a sudden you can't be fluid? Wake the fuck up, Shelby. I love you. I love you, Shelby. Isn't that the whole point? I did give 0 fucks back then, and I'll be honest with you, Shelby, I give 0 fucks now. But what I do know is this. I care. I love you. And the reason why I give 0 fucks to people who think they know me better than me, and I give 0 fucks to people who think they can even ever tell me how to be after everything I have been through. And that's what I want to encourage you. Whether you have to call it I give 0 fucks, I don't care. But you really need to understand this. You do not need validation from anyone. And to me, that's what it means when I say, oh, I care what you think of me. No, I do not. No, I do not. And no, I do not have to care what you think about me. Yes, I have to listen to your opinion 100%. I need to listen to your opinion about me. But I do not need to change my language. I do not change the way I look, the way I am, and the way I feel. But I need to acknowledge that you might not like the way I talk, that you think for some reason me saying tranny is disrespectful to the whole community. That's just such bullshit, complete egotistical, narcissistic behavior of anyone to say that. Of anyone to say that. Because I'm going to come back to the word queer. I don't like the word queer. I don't use the word queer, and in fact, I find the word queer to be very insulting and not understood of the implications of using the word queer as just an all roundabout okay word. That word comes from a very, very specifically dangerous space. And for you to think it is okay to call me queer when I don't like the word queer without listening to me, you don't listen when I say I don't like the word queer, but you sure as hell jump on me when I use the word tranny. Now, I want you people out there in B Cup land to tell me why. Why it's okay for you to use the word queer, but it is not okay for me to use tranny. I really need to hear answers. Nobody can ever give me a straight up answer. Mika says there's a difference between people, wickedness and weakness. Yes. We've all been weak. We've all made people victims of our weakness. When we become aware, we grow. Ask for forgiveness if you want. Yes, it's that simple. Even toxic people can grow. I was toxic. I will always admit I was toxic when I was a little dyke. Ask Shelby. She'll tell you. I was horrible. I was mean. I was angry. I am not toxic anymore. I am loving, empathetic, compassionate. I know that about myself. I give a lot of myself because I love it, and that is my path. My path is to give. I know that. I'm good at it. I love it. It makes me feel awesome. But that said, I had toxic, fucked up behavior before, and I found myself. So yes, people who are toxic, whatever that means, again, you might think I'm toxic. You might think I'm toxic because I do believe in bringing back words and reclaiming them and talking about them. But you can't just pick and choose reclaiming. You can't pick and choose reclaiming. You can't choose that queer is now this reclaimed word that we all celebrate when there are many people out there who despise the word queer. Why are you not listening about those people? Hayden says, hey Buck, January is Cervical Cancer Awareness Month. Why do you think trans men or however one identifies affects them still getting annual PEPs? Thank you for telling me that, Hayden. I'm going to post about that today. So it's cervical cancer. Yeah, because we do get that. I don't really know the percentage of trans men who get cervical cancer, but your question was, why do you think trans men or however one identifies affect them still getting PAPs, getting annual PAPs? Because trans men are not connected to their genitals. So let's talk about trans men who have vaginas. Are they aware of their vaginas in a positive way? Is there? Mika says there's no perimeter of trans. Yes, there is none. There's no specific straight definition of transgender, though there is for transsexual. For transsexual, there is a clear definition of transsexual. It's me. I am transsexual. That's why I tell you I'm not transgender. There is no clear definition of transgender. I know who I am. I know what I am. I know how I want to be. I'm a transsexual man. I grew up as a woman and I had a sex change. And yes, I said sex change because that's what I had. That's what I had. Don't tell me my language is wrong or antiquated. It's my language. I grew up as a woman. At the age of like 27, I had a sex change to become a man. I started taking hormones. I had surgery. I had all of these things. And I magically, through surgery and testosterone and an attitude, became a man. That's a transsexual. Transgender people live as trans. I do not live out my life as a trans person. I am nowhere near any of that. I live my life in the binary. I am binary. Binary exists. It's real. And don't let people tell you that binary is dead. What is this thing that Binary is socially constructed and it's dead. That's not true. That's disrespectful to all the people who live in the binary. Right? Like, are you kidding? Gender will never be dead, just so you know. Gender will never be dead. Never. Petra says you don't even have to listen to their opinions. Here's the deal. I like to listen to people's opinions, and thank you for saying that. Right? I love it. So I want to educate me, Shelby says. Tracy says, I agree. Vincent said, good morning, everyone. Tranny always reminds me of a transmission. Rochelle, queer had a different meaning back in the day, and it was a grave insult. Same with tranny. Same with tranny. And actually, queer still has that insult. Okay? It still is an insult. Alex says queer comes from where? I've always used it and never... How old are you, Alex? Queer comes from the 50s when cisgender people called gay men queer and beat them up and killed them because they were queer. It's a real thing. We need for everyone in this community to understand the history of the word queer. And the fact that you don't know the history of it, but you use it so openly, speaks volumes to the bullshit in this community. They sure do tell you what the history of tranny is, don't they? But they sure as hell don't tell you the history of queer. That seems a little lopsided to me, doesn't it? Doesn't that seem a little bit sneaky? Doesn't that seem a little bit like, here's the queer word, it's happy, and use it. There's the tranny word. Don't touch it. It's evil. But you have the responsibility to look at the meaning of those words. It is your responsibility to figure out, what does that mean before I start to use it? It is your responsibility to understand queer is not a happy word. And it is a reclaimed word, and I believe in reclaiming. I am 100% down for reclaiming. But you cannot tell me what I can and cannot reclaim. That's the bullshit behavior that I'm pissed off about. Jennifer says, at first I thought the word tranny about my daughter was inappropriate, but my daughter said it doesn't bother her because it doesn't define her. She's a woman. Beautiful. And it doesn't define me, and I use it as a way to kid around and fun. Yes, it comes from an insult. But how do you reclaim it if you don't reclaim it? I agree, transgender is a mixture of tons of different meanings. Actually, the C word was worse. And if you were a queer cunt, you were really, yes, in trouble. Yes. Shane says, I need to go. Thank you for your morning inspiration, Buck. One day I would love to meet you if you ever come to Pride in Montana. That could happen, my friend. I appreciate you coming. We love you very much. Have a beautiful day. And Angel says, sadly, so many people use words so freely without understanding the meaning of history. Angel, it is inappropriate behavior, and it's why I speak up about it. And it's specifically, look, let me just be honest with you here. I don't give a shit about the word tranny. I don't care if I ever use the word again. I don't give a shit. It's not that part of my language. It really isn't. It's not. It's not like I run around all day long and, oh, that cat's a tranny. Oh, my new friend is a tranny. Oh, I'm a tranny. I don't do that. I don't care. I'm using the word tranny, and I'm talking about the word tranny a lot. I'm using it as an example of the way this community tells us how to walk, talk, speak, what we want, what we can reclaim, what we can't, without any respect to the historical facts of our community. Yet they just lovingly grab queer out of nowhere, and even cisgender people are queer now, without understanding cisgender people used to call gay people queer and beat them up. And now they've taken the word over as if it's this proud way to be. Don't you guys think that, and women and people, don't you people think that's really insulting? What if everyone started calling themselves tranny? What if the cisgender world took the word tranny and started calling themselves trannies because they thought it was a cute word and they really enjoyed using it and it's funny and we're trannies? Tell me about that. What if that happened? Because that's exactly what happened with the word queer. Meg, thank you very much, Meg. Alex says, I use it as identifying as queer, gender queer. And yes, I know the word queer by itself was bad and would never call a person a queer. But that's not my point. Petra says, "Why are you coming back to New? When are you coming back to New Orleans? Would like to come and speak at the University of Southern Mississippi. I'm one of the long leaders of the." Petra, send me an email and we'll talk about that. We can make that happen. Even though this, can I tell you, Petra? I've been very vocal about not speaking at any university in the United States of America after the University of Madison, Wisconsin, little baby, butthurt little baby trans man didn't like me and was scared of me because I used the word vagina and made all this bull, and they didn't have me come. And I'm all, you signed a contract. Grow up. So Petra, I'll have a conversation with you, and I might be able to make that work. But I told you, I was telling you, I'm not going to speak to university children in this country ever again. They can kiss my ass. They're a bunch of little fucking babies who don't want to have any other opinions but their own. And they're like, I'm scared of Buck Angel. He can't come to the university. Are you kidding? Are you kidding me? You mean you don't want to be challenged? You don't want me to challenge your thought process because you don't have a brain of your own and you're a fucking follower who's listening to your cult-like behavior and following and listening to people talking and making lies about other people without even getting any facts. That's what the university circuit is creating. The university circuit in America is creating a bunch of little whiny babies who have zero thought process of their own, do not want to be challenged, do not want to have any other person come in and say, actually, what you're thinking is wrong. And I disagree with you. But no, instead, they posted all this shit about me on Facebook. The head person of the University of Madison, Wisconsin got on the phone with me and was like, we didn't know that you were this kind of person. I go, what kind of person? The kind of person that says these kinds of things. I said, fuck, are you fucking kidding me? I say a lot of things. Do your research. Number one. Number two, I'm a fucking activist. And you know what they call me? A problematic activist. A problematic activist. Grow up. If you are not problematic as an activist, you're not a real activist, my friend. An activist causes problems. An activist creates awareness. An activist shakes the fucking shaker up. Wake up. That's what an activist is. Problematic attaches to that word because people think anything outside of the system is problematic. That's what they do. They take these words and they latch them onto these ideas. Anything that is not, or if you're speaking against, is problematic. Don't you see the scariness in that thought process? Now I'm problematic because I'm not on board. I'm not on board with the language. I'm not on board with the direction of the transgender community. I'm not on board with the way we call people out. I'm not on board with public shaming. I'm not on board with telling me how to talk. So now I'm problematic. Fuck yeah, I'm problematic. You better watch out because I will shake it up. In 2018, I swear to God, I know what my purpose is. In 2018, it's to get you to understand it is okay to be like me. It is okay to be problematic because it's not problematic. It's actually being what? Self-aware. Self-aware. If you are waking up every morning speaking in that same language that everybody else is speaking, everything is problematic. I'm transgender. These words that they're creating, don't you see why they're creating these words? And everyone is speaking. You need to be transparent. What is being transparent? Can someone explain that to me? Because it's bullshit and it's very cultish. It's very cultish to say that I need to be transparent to you. No, I don't. Go fuck yourself. I don't need to be transparent to anybody but myself. But myself. I am just Petra says, I'm a problematic. I bet all of you B-cuppers are problematic. Cheers. It's why I love you. I am problematic and have the same issues, so I understand. I don't get it. I don't get it. Rachel says the technical term for political theater is agitprop. Agitation and propaganda. I'm going to remember that. I love it. Thank you for that word. It's a beautiful... I love learning new words, if you didn't know that. I love learning new words. You want to know why I love learning new words? I'm going to tell you. I'm a fucking open book. When I was a kid, I was called stupid. Constantly called stupid. That I wasn't academically at any level. I wasn't. That I couldn't learn. I wasn't. They actually sent me to many psychologists and many therapists. And this was pretty much around 15 years old going into high school. I was just a mess. I was a boy, but I looked like a girl. And that was in the 70s. So everyone thought I was mentally not there. They really thought that. I had tests done for my IQ. They said that I was below average or whatever. Like I was stupid. They kept calling me stupid. I was stupid. I went into high school being called stupid. I didn't do good in any of my classes. I flunked out on everything. I never showed up to class. I was super shy. I didn't seem to be able to get what was happening in school. So immediately when you're a child and you're not learning and you're flunking out of school, they stamp that label on you. You're stupid. So for much of my life, I really thought I was stupid. I actually thought I was stupid. I actually thought I couldn't learn. I actually thought I wouldn't go anywhere. The only thing that kept me in school was my athletics. Because of course I was a dyke, and athletics were my life. The only thing that kept me even going into some kind of college was athletics. That said, I always flunked out of every academic class. Until one day what happened was I figured out I was really a man and not a woman. And I had a sex change to become a man. And when I became a man, my whole life changed. I'm not stupid, I said to myself. I'm fucking smart. I am tired of people telling me I am stupid. I am fucking smart. I created myself. I want to look like G.I. Joe. And I'm going to be G.I. Joe. And I'm not stupid. And then I found the internet. And then I found YouTube. And then I started to teach myself. I self-taught myself how to build websites by using what? HTML. Many of you kids might not even know what HTML is. But it's the actual real way that we used to build websites before WordPress. All coding. I taught myself how to do that from YouTube. I'm not telling you this because I want you to think I'm brilliant. I'm telling you this for a reason. People will say things about you. People will always have an opinion about you. People can take you out if you let them. As a child, I let them. I was brainwashed into thinking I was stupid. Then I thought I was stupid. I thought I can't do anything. I don't know. I wandered the world as a stupid person until I realized, actually, I'm not stupid. I applied myself to things that excited me. And when I applied myself to the things that excited me, I succeeded. I succeeded on such a level that I never thought I would succeed. That people who said, you're stupid, are like, holy fuck. People calling me out of my childhood and saying, wow, you really made it. Wow, you really made it. My point to my story is this. What did we start talking about in the beginning? Self-awareness. The past is there, kids. That's why they call it the past. The future is there, kids. That's why they call it the future. But guess what? Today is here right now, kids. It's why they call it today. And they call it present. You have to be present in your life to be successful. And not successful making products or doing business. To be successful as a person will create success outside of that. And that is self-awareness. Who are you? You are not the person that they want you to be. Because if you become the person they think or want you to be, you will become that person. Example, stupid Buck. Everyone called me stupid. Everyone said I was stupid. Everyone said I'll never accomplish anything. Everyone said I'll be in prison by the time I'm 20. Everyone said I'll be dead by the time I'm 30. And here I stand. And I listened to that for many years of my life. I thought I was stupid. You're not stupid. You're not bad. You're not ugly. You're not anything other than what you want to be. What do you want to be? Do you want to be successful? Do you want to be loved? Do you want to love yourself? Do you want to wake up every morning going, wow, wow, and happy to wake up? Yes, you do. Everyone does. How do you get to that spot? You get to that spot. And nobody's responsible for validating you to get to that spot. You have to work to get to that spot. And that means releasing all the garbage and the baggage and the bullshit that other people put on you. Remember that. You didn't put that on you. That's not you. Your PTSD, your triggers, your stuff that keeps you from walking the world every day is because of other people. It's because of other people. That is not your baggage. Let it go. That every day that this community comes at us, every day that this community, people in this community feel that they have the right to tell us who we are, that they have the right to tell us we are not trans, or you can't use this word. Who are those people? Those are the same people from your childhood who were telling you you are stupid. It's those same controlling people who have no self-awareness and no self-love, so that they have to point fingers at you and tell you that you're the bad person. They're not the bad person. You're the bad person. That's what you need to understand in order to grow and get out of that mindset. You have put and surrounded yourself around people who want you to stay down. They don't want you to be successful. Do you know every person in my life is every day? Buck, you are awesome. Thank you, Buck. You're great. You do good things. And that's what I surround myself with. I surround myself with people who understand my mission, my goal, my passion, my path in life. And they are a part of that. If you don't have those people around you, you won't have self-awareness, because they will keep drilling in your head, you're stupid, you're stupid, you're stupid, you're stupid. It's a real thing. And it's why I speak about this community. And I don't care if people get tired of me hearing it, because people have reached out to me and said, shut up, Buck. This is what they've said to me. Shut up. Stop talking shit about our community. And I'm like, are you kidding? You're actually telling me to shut up and stop talking about our community. No. Now you've made me even want to do it more. You're not even having a conversation with me. You're just doing that thing that they do in cults. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Remember what I told you? Watch that movie. When you're not part of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, sorry, they do this when they find out you're not a body. Watch the movie. Watch the movie. So basically, these trans people in this community who don't like my voice and find me problematic, they're going, you're not one of us. You're not one of us. They're trying to get me. You can't get me. I will fucking speak all goddamn day and night and years until someone takes me out or I just die. Good morning, Soren. My life coach is here. Remember, those who judge you have issues of their own. It's not about you. Live your own truth. And then there's that. But Soren, it's not that easy. It's not that easy, specifically if you have been around negativity in your life. The only way to get out of that is to remove the negative people from your life. And I don't care if it's your wife, your husband, your children. Then you need to reteach them. Do not talk to me like that. You tell people, do not speak to me like that. Have a conversation, but do not tell me what to do. Rachel says, I left school, made me feel stupid, dyslexic, who had nothing to offer. I educated myself and got accepted for a scholarship. I love you. For a master's degree without levels of a bachelor's degree. I went straight to post-grad. Just believe in yourself. Fucking Rachel, you rule. Fucking Rachel rules. You see that? It's real, people. Just because you have people tell you things about you, or someone told you that you have triggers when every time you see a coffee cup, do you really? Do you really have triggers? Do you really get triggered when someone calls you she or he? Or is it just something inside of you that you're just not working on? Do you really get triggered when someone calls you the wrong pronoun? Really? Really? You need to figure out why. Do you actually really want to live with that trigger for the rest of your life? Do you find it to be a security blanket on some level? Do you find it to be a way that you cannot live through the world without your triggers? Then you, my friend, will never grow. You'll never be self-aware. You'll never, ever, ever be the person you want to be. That trigger is a blanket, and that blanket is a cave, and that cave has no exit if you choose to do that. But guess what? You can find the exit to that cave and remove that blanket and say, I no longer have triggers. Why and how? Self-awareness. Understand why it takes you out when somebody misgenders you. Why? Why is it so deep in your psyche and so deep in your hurt that it just throws you into a space of trigger? Don't you want to get rid of it? Why do you want to hang on to it? If you want to hang on to it, it means you don't want to grow. It means you have no desire to grow. It means you have no desire to move forward. It means you have no desire to work for it. All of this didn't come magically from fairy dust. I wish. Every day I work on my awareness. Every day I work on myself. Every day I make a mistake. Every day I say something fucking stupid. Every day I have to say, why did I fucking say that? Every day. So learning self-awareness and self-care is a forever thing. Every Buddhist in the world does it. The Dalai Lama does it. You will never be that so fully aware that you won't fuck shit up, because it's going to happen. I encourage you to start to understand who you are and not who they are. Because they aren't you. Who are you? Who do you want to be? What kind of person do you want to be? Are you that person today? If you are, I fucking commend you and I congratulate you. I am. I am the person I want to be. And I fucking feel so goddamn grateful every goddamn day I wake up. Every day. I can't believe I'm this person. I just can't believe it. How did I get here? Self-awareness. Self-awareness, not giving a fucking rat's ass what all the other people in this community have an opinion about me. I don't care. You should never care. Unless it's a situation between this. You understand what I mean? But on a whole, you should never give a fuck what people think about you. Because why? Why? Why do we care? I tell you why we care what people think about us. Because you need validation. It means you don't know you. Good morning on YouTube. When people are jerks in public, I remind myself they are sick ones and not me. I know my truth. Exactly. When you know that. Brandon says, I know who I am. I've been through hell and back to find who Brandon is. I'm thankful for the shit I've gone through. And embrace your shit. Embrace your past. Don't look at it as a bad thing. But here's the deal. Embrace it, but don't live in it. Embrace it. Soren says you have to be as kind and loving to yourself as you would to others. Do unto others as you would do. That's a real saying. This gets you where you need to go. It starts with self-awareness and self-love. The problem is it a problem, that many of us don't know how to get to self-awareness. It is a process. The process starts with this, right here, knowing and understanding I need to get back to myself and loving myself. Why are you transitioning? Why are you transitioning if you don't love yourself? You're looking for something. You actually think transitioning is going to change your whole life. No, it isn't. No, it is not. If you don't have your self-awareness and your mental capacity ready for this ride, you will not change. That same brain that is in the body and in the mind of the person that's not aware will not be successful. This is part of transitioning. Your mind is part of transitioning, not just your physical body, your vessel. Your vessel carries your mind. It's so important that you understand that through transition. Just popping hormones And having surgery is not going to create the person you want to be unless you're also working and changing your mind as well. Those things need to mold together and understand, and do it for you. Brendan says, I don't live my past. I reflect on it, so I know I'll never go back to that. Okay, I got to let YouTube go. I love you kids a lot. Thanks so much for listening and having a great conversation, and I'll see you kids tomorrow. Okay, and God, we're fast approaching the end of the week already. Have a beautiful day. I love you kids a lot.